We gotta get back to the office! Stat!
Well, if you went more than 1 over the speed limit, we'd get there quicker.
I'm being safe.
I could walk on my hooves faster, guys.
Gotta hit the road. Gotta get across town. Gotta get to work and turn the day upside down. You gotta step on the gas, but then brake at every stop sign. You gotta step on the brakes and up in front of the white line.
Slow and steady wins the race.
Slow and steady wins the race. Slow and steady wins the race.
Why can't you drive at a faster pace? Hey.
Slow and steady wins the race. Slow and steady wins the race. Slow and steady wins the race.
Why can't you drive at a quicker pace? It's driving me insane.
Okay, Mara, what are you proposing we drive in?
Well, now that you've asked, if you must know, I got my Porsche backed around back. It's parallel parked, real flat next to the curb. Can't get a ticket, but even if I did, you know I'd pay that. Sorry, didn't mean to cuss there. Anyway, but we can't all fit in the Porsche, and Thorne's been banned because the hooves had tracked mud too many times.
Yeah.
You owe me for a new interior. Oh, slow and steady wins the race. Slow and steady wins the race. Slow and steady wins the race. We drive at a faster pace if we took it from my place, yeah.
Slow and steady wins the race. I like traffic signs.
Slow and steady wins the race.
My credit card declines.
Slow and steady wins the
I can't
race.
get a faster car.
In your face!
Clap, 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 clap.
A olive green landscaping truck and a Porsche pull up in front of an office.
We were racing.
Yes. I
And
pull
you
up.
won because I got pulled over 3 times.
The Porsche pulls up while the landscaping van is doing a really, really careful parking job.
I drift fully around into the spot that you were trying to park into because you were backed up.
I politely reverse and find somewhere else to park.
I finally arrive about 3 minutes after that.
You head up into the office. Can I get descriptions of each of your characters, please? And also maybe introductions from the players. Maybe people are joining us for the first time today.
Yeah.
Yeah, my name is Camilla, pronouns she, her, and stepping out of that landscaping van is Aubrey Stump. 5'10", pretty muscular, has a bunch of dirt on her clothes, which are mostly very casual, sort of canvas waxed work clothes with a Hawaiian shirt over it, lots of bright florals. She has a very poorly maintained shag and is looking confused. Not for any reason, just because sometimes she is confused. She, as a child, do we want to talk about...
That's up to you.
Want to talk about childhood?
Yeah.
She had a wacky childhood, and she's a very successful and well-adjusted adult now.
Great.
Approaching on Cloven. Is that right? Yeah, cloven hoof, but in shoes and hidden.
The sounds were earlier with the Monty Python.
Yeah,
coconuts.
it was. I was looking for 2 coconuts around the room, and I was just couldn't find them. I'm AJ, also he, they. Approaching is Thorne. They are a satyr, but they are concealing the bottom half and the satyrness. So they're wearing a backwards cap to cover the little nubby horns and a mechanic jumpsuit. It looks badass. It looks really badass. And bad butt. It looks really bad butt. And the name tag is just a rose. It's a little rose with thorns.
Love that. And they're a tall, imposing figure, right?
Yes, they're not. No, they're like a 5 foot.
4'12".
Yeah, 4'12". No, it's very, yes, thank you.
I never forget
We need
that.
to save that.
4'12".
Yeah.
And then simultaneously, as if a la Baywatch, like slow-mo montage, Mara steps out of her Porsche. I'm Lauren, by the way, she, her. And she's got her Ray-Ban, she lowers them, she steps out of her Porsche, she is dressed to the nines. That jacket costs more than a college education today. No, I'm kidding. Well, who knows? It's a nice leather jacket, it's red, she's got sharp features, but she's approachable. Got this wonderful presence about her. And then let's just say in the Greek mythology unit in middle school when they were talking about Odysseus, she got really uncomfortable. Her family runs the entire town, but she hates that fact. And is here to make a life of her own.
So the three of you head up the stairs into your office and busy yourselves with work for a little bit before the door goes jingle, 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 and in walks...
So I'm Jeffrey, pronouns he, him. But into the scene walks Inspector Greystone.
An inspector.
Cops, everyone hide!
He is rather tall. He's 6'2", and he seems very, very put together. He appears to be in his 60s. He's 6'2". He's wearing a large Cordova-style hat, which is the kind of hat that Carmen Sandiego wears.
Cool.
But it's goose feather gray. He has a long goose feather gray jacket. It almost looks a bit like an up-jumped lab coat or a doctor's coat. An ice white vest that matches his eyes. And just generally lanky features. He walks into the office.
Hello. How can we help you?
Well, this is Thorne. Thorne, private investigating?
Yep. Yes, you come to the right place.
Okay, excellent.
I'm Mara, this is Thorne, and this is Aubrey.
Hello.
Very nice.
Cool
very
hat.
nice. Oh, what a lovely place here.
We also offer landscaping services if needed.
Do we?
You do?
I can get you connected with a landscaper.
With a landscaper?
Our business model is currently under review. Sorry to interrupt. What brings you in?
Oh, dear. Well, I was wondering if you had capacity to help me out with a little project.
Always.
Yes?
Right?
I am so glad to hear that. I'm so glad to hear that. Aubrey.
Yep.
Correct?
Yeah.
Aubrey? I'm very glad to hear that. As I'm not sure if you've heard of me, but I also spend a little bit of time solving mysteries, looking into strange things. And I'm told that you are no stranger to the strange.
So you believe in magic?
Whoa!
He's insinuating it. I'm gonna ask.
If you only knew. Now, I understand if that means that you don't want to work with me, but I was under the impression that that wouldn't be a deal breaker for you.
It's kind of becoming a prerequisite at this point.
Are you? So it is true.
I mean, you're going to ask, yeah.
Wait. So do you believe in magic?
Outside of a young girl's heart, not much. But
Look, I can't get away from it. This is just something that it's a long story, but there's really no good in me pretending that I don't suspect that it's out there. There's just more going on. At any rate, I have a problem. An old connection of mine who has lost someone very important to her, and you seem to be earning a bit of a reputation for yourselves for handling strange cases. I was wondering if you might like to help me out with a job.
Well, if we were to go along with the proposition that you were insinuating, that we've built up some sort of a public persona of dealing with things that may or may not exist and may or may not affect us each personally and deeply, you know that...
You are a good detective. You got all of that from what I said?
That's why we get paid the big bucks. Just then a smell of the chili comes up through the vents. Because we're on top of the pavilion. Anyway.
Oh, that smells warm.
It's great, and it never goes away. Anyway, then if, for argument's sake, you know that this is a delicate matter, and we are happy to assist and do not like to drive any sort of new customer away. However, you know that this is such thing that needs to be handled with care and with a bit of, I don't want to say secrecy, but delicacy.
Oh, well, that sounds doable. I mean, how dangerous could it be?
Can I ask a question? You said you're an inspector.
Yes.
Is this something that you've already inspected yourself? And if so, what are you looking for us to provide if this is something you do?
Well, I investigate on a bit of a larger scale, but I'm told that this case brings my mark, if you will, to your little corner of the world where I'm not as familiar.
Okay, so you're looking for local perspective.
Perspective, expertise, talent.
We got at least 2 of those.
Speak for yourself.
I'll take them both.
Speak for yourself.
I said at least.
I'm an expert in some things. Chili eating, paddleboarding.
You sound like you live a fantastic life.
Yeah, I've been single for a while.
You know? Same.
Shocking. Sorry.
What?
Nothing. I meant it genuinely. With an outfit like that. Anyway, Greystone, you'll have to excuse me. I am a little bit trepidatious in airing out our business with things in the stranger parts of the world publicly, but if you've done your research, you know that we all come from varying different backgrounds and have different roots that connect us to this town, but we're always here to help.
Oh, like what?
Do you want to tell us about what's bringing you here today?
Yes, that's why I'm here.
Great.
But although I'm sure your backstory is lovely, this is...
I didn't mean to share it, so this pivot is welcomed.
Noted. At any rate, your backstories, I'm sure, are of lesser financial matter to me. You see, there is an old connection of mine who, tale as old as time, meets a coworker. That coworker meets them, happens around the same time. It's love. There are trains involved. There's machinery and the mechanics of passion. Anyway, 5 years later, they agree to move in together. They agree to become one financially. If you know what I mean.
Yes. Oh, maybe not.
They joined bank accounts.
Oh, what? That's a big step.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
It's one of the key mechanics of passion, I hear.
Oh, there are so many mechanics of passion. There are so many.
I can see that the feather on his hat is just flipping.
This means we're calling for a song.
Oh, yeah.
Just so you know.
It's just mechanics of passion.
You want to know about the mechanics of passion? I'm an inspector. I've seen it all. Maybe you've heard of some of these. When it comes to love, you gotta take action.
Action.
So use the mechanics of passion.
Passion.
Say it with me. When it comes to love, you gotta take action.
Action.
So you gotta use the mechanics of passion.
Passion.
All right, let's start with mechanic number 1. Mechanic number 1 is economic unity. You pull your funds together with immunity. You take the money in several amounts and you put them in one bank account, and then anyone can give and anyone can take, no matter how much any party makes, 'cause when it comes to love, you gotta take action.
Action.
So you gotta use the mechanics of passion.
Passion.
Yeah.
When it comes to love, you gotta take action.
Action.
So you gotta use the mechanics of passion.
Mechanic number 2, you go and you buy a car. It could be any kind of vehicle, and you gotta drive. One has to ride, and that's something only 2 people can decide. I can make the choice, can't make it for you. That's something only one who is in love can do. And that's mechanic number 2, 'cause when it comes to love, you gotta take action. So you gotta use the mechanics of passion. Yeah, I'm telling you, when it comes to love, you gotta take action. Gotta take action. And you gotta use the mechanics of passion. Mechanics of passion. Mechanic number 3, mutual nudity. Mechanic number 4, going out the door. Mechanic number 5, staying alive and staying alive by each other's side. Mechanic number 6, side-by-side graves.
What about marriage counseling?
I see that you are familiar with some of the late teens. There are a bunch of mechanics that we have to get through in between. Speed run, buying a pet, reading a book,
13.
buying a calendar and taking a look,
11.
buying a bottle of A-Lead scotch, climbing a tree, carving a
17.
notch, then carving your name on the bark of the tree,
32.
carving someone else's name aside of the one that belongs to me.
47.
I think that's 11. Number 12, mutual breaks go to heaven. Then we get to 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, marriage counseling. Because when it comes to love, you gotta take action. Does that answer your question?
Crystal clear, thank you.
Okay. There are many more mechanics of passion.
What about pulleys?
Oh! I was listing the mechanics of passion. You seem very familiar with the machinations of passion. Would you like to hear about all of those?
I know there's wedges also.
Oh, yes. Those are often used to drive people apart.
Is that what happened in this case?
Well, that's what I'm hoping that perhaps you can help us figure out. Because not only has my client's dear love disappeared, but so has all their money.
Oh. Like the bank balance in the shared account
Yes.
is at 0.
It's a goose egg.
Wow. Huh. And you're hoping for a local perspective, so I'm guessing the train you speak of may be our library train.
That was not the train I was speaking of.
Never mind.
But
Thorne, you had
there are many
something?
trains in the world.
Right.
It's Mara, right?
That's me.
That's your name.
And we know for a fact she didn't just leave.
We know for a fact that she didn't just... We know for a fact that she did leave.
So she's just gone.
She's not home.
A little bit of divorce.
And neither is the money.
Case solved.
They're not divorced. They were not married. They moved in together. They joined bank accounts. And then, okay, so there are these 2 people. Megan, that's the one who's paying me. Caitlin, she's the one who ran away with the money.
Okay, so did run away.
Definitely is not home.
So we're seeing
Megan,
nefarious intent.
remember, Megan doesn't have any money right now. So she would not be sending me here, all the way here, to try to hunt her down if she didn't have a pretty good feeling that she had disappeared here.
And Caitlin did not choose to leave.
That's...
Right, part of the mystery. Yes,
Yes.
I'm following. Mm-hmm.
I feel like if I share anything else, you are going to have to agree to help me with this. I would love to bring you on as subcontractors. I will give you access to my resources. This could be a feather in your cap.
Interesting.
And he thumbs
Yeah,
this long blue jay feather coming out of the top of his hat.
I think the team, we would need to discuss this for just a minute. Do you mind stepping into our waiting room? And I gesture to the bathroom in the corner there.
I forgot about this.
That's so funny.
Your waiting room is a water closet?
Whoa.
It's a rest room for resting and waiting.
There's a couch in there.
And there's lovely shell-shaped scented soaps.
I'm not here to judge, but let me just tell you, if you can pull this off, Caitlin and Megan had a lot of money. And we would get a share of that. And it could completely change your operation. So just consider that while I go and sit in your rest room. Ta-ta.
Well, I'm inclined by curiosity to want to know more. And I think turning him down could be a bad move, saying how if he does have this sort of prowess nationwide, I don't know. But I also feel like I'd want maybe my family's accountant to help us work out whatever subcontractor agreement, because I also don't want to get slighted.
It does feel kind of weird. This is the first person that's ever come in and, right off the bat been like, Bigfoot,
Right.
I mean, I'm interested.
You hear from the restroom, did somebody say Bigfoot?
The soaps all smell different.
I'll take that as a yes.
I'm down. I honestly want to see this guy solve a mystery.
Yeah?
I kind of want to solve it before him, which we can do if we take it.
He might be the one to take a bet. But that seems dangerous, though.
Why don't we just work together?
Yeah.
Then?
Yeah,
And we can
sorry.
have a secret bet, but
No.
Let's have a secret bet.
Okay.
We're
Well,
going to
no,
solve it.
Just like a joke, like every time he touches the feather, we all like cough. It'll be like our fun joke.
whoever coughs first gets $1.
Yeah, okay, got it. Sounds good. That makes it fun for me. Cool.
You want us to cough into my Helix, right?
Love that.
Or maybe not cough.
I mean, you just
yeah, clear your throat. Well, I'm intrigued. He's swag. I love his outfit, and that for me is enough to trust him.
I'm in. Let's approach this one with a little more caution than even the others.
Okay.
If a trap were to be laid out for us, this is how
This
I
would
would do
be
it.
it.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, I think we're all in agreement that we're going to say yes. We're just having a huddle so that it seems like we have a lot of cases to
Right.
decide
Yes,
between,
yeah.
right?
So
but we're
true.
going to
we'll
say
just fit in our
yes.
caseload even.
We
then.
need to
Exactly.
take a
We
job
need
on
this
anyway, and this one
really
seems
bad.
really interesting.
Okay. Greystone?
The door opens up. Yes.
We are very excited to be working with you on this. We accept.
Brilliant. Well, I don't really know my way around this town. So, let's say there were an estranged lover named Caitlin. Mm-hmm. That's her name. Mm-hmm. That part's not none of this is hypothetical.
Right.
And she wanted to get away from Asteroid City, Utah, to this tiny little part of the world. Where would she hide with all that money?
Well, can you tell us a little bit about what you know about the couple?
Oh, yes. Well, they've known each other for about 4 or 5 years. They were both engineers on a railway line. So, very, very intellectual, you know how some people will say that there are right-brained people and left-brained people?
I've heard leeward and windward, but this is fine too.
Oh, okay. All right.
They're both very common phrases.
Oh, yeah. I have a starboard-minded
leeward and
brain.
windward. Oh, yes, starboard and port-minded. All right. Something tells me you are the right team for this job. I love your vocabulary.
We do know a lot of words for left and right.
At any rate, these are both two very intelligent, and until just a couple of days ago, very, seemingly in love people. One might say that they were the darling couple of the railway line.
And did you know them before this happened and Megan came to you with the case?
I did, although I wouldn't say it would be... It's a long story. I met them through working on another case.
Were you a trained detective?
I have never heard it put so simply. Are you familiar with the case of Train 19?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
We went
I
through
worked
a
on that
long
one.
tunnel,
I
and
worked on
the
that
lights
one.
went out and it got dark, and then everyone... There were all the seats were missing? Right. The seats went missing during the blackout because someone had smuggled something into them.
Aubrey actually wrote a fan conspiracy novel about Train 19.
You know a surprising amount about Train 19. We should discuss that in more detail at another time, Miss Aubrey.
Sure.
But I was working on that. At any rate, that's how I met Megan and Caitlin. They both gave their testimonies, and they said similarly nice things about my fashion. And we've just been acquaintances.
How did you solve it?
The case of Train 19 was never solved. It's one of the reasons why I am no longer with the FBI.
But you must have a guess, right?
We should discuss this at a different time.
Well,
The case of Train 19 is not one with billable hours. This is the case of Caitlin!
Well, Greystone, then I do have to ask if your detectorial history consists of famous cases like Train 19 and working with the FBI. Although we do possess a unique set of talents,
Like what?
knowing Foxglove quite well and what you aforementioned in terms of the strange,
Okay.
I guess I just have to wonder, couldn't you have handled this one on your own with your experience, knowledge, and prestige?
You're new to this business, aren't you? And I don't mean that as an insult. You're new. There are two sides to being a private eye.
Leeward and windward.
There's the mystery-solving side. And then there's the business side. And anyone can solve a mystery. But the most effective people are able to get work done through other people. Now, maybe I could track down Caitlin myself, but I would have to accrue all of the knowledge about this area, all these talents that you sold me on, myself, and that would take time. And during that time, Caitlin may be getting further and further away. Seems like hiring some help is the smart choice.
Okay.
If they're engineers and they've worked on trains and they're trying to stay on the move, then there is something that a local might recommend, which is what Mara mentioned earlier. Our city library is a train that never stops.
Fascinating.
It's got all sorts of fascinating books.
Yeah.
And the engineering for it has to be wild. I've never seen it slow down.
Huh.
If you're familiar with the Dewey Decimal System, it's, each train car has its own range. It's humorous in nature, but actually a fantastic concept.
That sounds like a feat of almost fantastic skill.
Catnip to an engineer, would you say?
Yes. I think that's a rather apt metaphor. I like that. That metaphor is catnip to me.
Thank you.
Cool.
So let's go to the train library.
Well, it should be passing. Ooh, shouldn't the? I think it's the children's book car is actually going to be passing us relatively soon, right? At the stop down the street from the pavilion. Wait, what?
That's just so funny. I'm sorry. Just the children books. By the time we get there, the children's section should be passing by.
I'm trying to think of what, like, non-fiction, what's funny, like, you know?
We'll have to run up alongside it to try to jump on, but even if the person you're looking for isn't there, we might be able to get some maps of the city, some information to help you get yourself situated.
Mm-hmm. And even if we have a hard time getting on the train, the boxcar children will help us. So.
They're perpetually stuck in the reading corner of the children's book car. They've been there for decades.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I guess we'll just see.
Are we going to head there?
Are you heading to the train?
Yeah. I think if you two are leading the way, then Thorne is going to pull Aubrey to the side just really quickly and be like, we don't have all the information. And
no, we do not.
I just want to plant the seed that maybe we're hunting someone that is hiding.
I think that's very possible.
Okay. All right. Good.
The way he reacted to Train 19 was unexpectedly intense, right?
Yeah, no, he did train 19. I don't have any proof, but he did train 19 for sure.
I feel like as someone who's unexpectedly intense about events from my past, I know it when I see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, seed of doubt planted.
Maybe it'll grow into a little patina copper-leafed tree and we can play willow chess with it.
Come on, Willow.
You're still you've never really taught me all the rules to that, and I feel like...
Oh, okay, so you...
And the scene fades out.
Let me explain willow chess. I know the rules. I wrote it out.
Meanwhile, Greystone and Mara are talking. All right, so I have to ask you because you seem so honest that you were willing to almost insult my eligibility as a bachelor earlier, and you had just met me. So I think you can shoot straight with me, right?
Yeah, I apologize, Greystone. I did not mean to. To be honest, I judged a book by its cover, and with my family, I've met a lot of men that are a bit hoity-toity and have had my fair share of their remarks that I don't love, and I can see that that is not you, so I apologize.
I'm just concerned. Remember, Train 19 is a cold, closed case, and I fought tooth and nail to keep it open. It's the reason that I'm no longer with the FBI. It took too long for us to solve it. Everyone knows it at the Bureau. It's no one believed me when I said that I thought that there was fantastic.
I wipe a bit of spit from my face.
Do you know the whereabouts of your colleague Aubrey 30 years ago during the Train 19 incident?
Well, we all went to school together, so we're actually all in our mid-20s, so we would have not even been conceived just yet.
Okay, because if someone had said that when the case was still open, every fiber of my being says that someone knows something about that case. And I've already interviewed all the good guys. So can we trust Aubrey?
Oh, of course. Oh, Aubrey and Thorne are my closest friends.
Are you under duress?
I'm going to be so honest with you, I don't know what that means.
You are so new to this business. I love it. Trust me. Stick with me, Mara. You're going to go places.
Love it.
Duress just means that you're being forced to behave in a way that is contrary to your own best interest.
Oh, no. If anything, I'm the people person in the group, and maybe I will put Aubrey out of her comfort zone more than she puts me out of mine.
Okay. It's just... It's a very sore spot for me.
Okay.
19, and
noted, and she is a naturally very curious person, so we can respect boundaries if we're going to be working together.
Okay. I am happy to talk about it. I'm just very thrown off that there is someone else who knows about this.
She is a person with a lot of special interests and is incredibly intelligent about a wide range of things. If you hear her talking about, say, willow chess, I found it's best to just smile and nod.
Okay. Thank you for the tip.
I'm silently communicating to Aubrey as we're walking. If he smiles and nods at you, just go with it. Trying to throw him off.
Aubrey smiles and nods, but way over the top back at Mara.
Oh, here's the train car.
I start sprinting.
I feel like it's gotta be.
Mission Impossible run full tilt.
Song title, Gotta Catch the Train.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Here Comes the Children's Car. Wait, maybe not.
Yes. Yeah. Ooh, I can see Dr. Seuss within that car. If only it wouldn't travel so far away. Oh, if I just keep on running, I know that trains are coming, and I'll catch that damn train one day.
Gotta run after the train. You gotta run every day. Gotta run after the train. You gotta run every day. You're running there in your nice clothes from work. That you have to run, it rubs you the wrong way. You might get angry or get rankled that you have to run to read the works of Viktor Frankl. You gotta run to catch that train. You gotta run every day.
Oh, sometimes the feeling gets heavy when you can't catch up to Dostoevsky. Oh. Sometimes you look at the schedule and you get lost in the feeling that you just want to read Austen. Sometimes you're just too slow to find out what happens at the end of that Victor Hugo.
You gotta run to catch that train. You gotta run every day. You've gotta run to catch that train. You've gotta run every day.
Thanks, Boxcar Children.
You're welcome. The Boxcar Children also, if we're talking about the ones from the children, this is out of character. Famous train detectives.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, yo.
So you hop up onto the train. What are you looking for? What sort of information are you looking for on this train?
We're looking for an engineer.
Yeah, I think for information about the train itself.
So you have to move forward a couple of cars until you get to the mechanics and engineering section.
I have a question.
Is this not normal?
Well, I'm just wondering why we ran to catch the children's car if this was the car that we were going to.
We were just behind.
Yeah, it was the one it's got the widest opening if kids need
It's easier to
catch
hop
it.
on.
It's easier to hop on, and just timing wise, I knew it would give us the best vantage point to jump onto with its schedule and where we were coming from at the pavilion.
Guys, hey, thanks for coming to the children's car. I got the new Pickley book. It just came out. I'm so excited.
That's awesome. Do you have your library card?
No.
Check it out under my name. Just make sure you.
The Verite card? Thorne giddily runs up the train. It doesn't even
Platinum
wait.
library card. It's metal.
You see, this is the kind of local expertise that I needed for this case.
As we start looking through books, I do want to ask. You said you don't know whether Caitlin left of her own accord, whether she was under duress, under pressure to do so. Do you also have any suspicion if you had to choose?
Okay, so I think you're asking, if I ascertain correctly, whether or not I believe Caitlin is leaving Megan because she, out of malevolent purposes, or if perhaps there's something else afoot.
Sure.
Okay. I don't know. I think that if I knew that, then this case might be a little bit easier for me to solve on my own. This is investigation work.
All
this
right.
is good stuff.
All right, just trying to ascertain what you know already and suspect. Another related question that you might not know, but do you have any evidence pointing to confirm that Caitlin's the one that emptied the bank account?
That is an excellent question, because after seeing Caitlin's and Megan's relationship, I was so surprised. I figured something must have happened to Caitlin, something that drove her away. Maybe she was kidnapped, or maybe she was under duress. You know what that means, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
good.
as of recently.
No, we have complete, irrefutable proof that Caitlin, on her own accord, walked into the bank, withdrew every last cent from her joint account with Megan in bearer bonds, which are untraceable and belong to whoever holds them, and absconded with it. That's what we know.
All right.
Rest is part of the mystery.
Great.
Thorne, taking that conversation in, can I roll like a perception to see if he believes kind of where he's going for?
Yeah.
Is that perception? Investigation?
If you're trying to tell if he's lying, yeah.
You get 2 extra blue dice from being with your beds.
Yeah. And then, Greystone, what is your cunning?
I think cool is the one for
Cool. Thank you.
So that would be 2 green and 1 yellow.
So that'll be 2 purple and a red for your difficulty. Oh, and sorry, Jeffrey. Greystone's ability sets the DC, sets the the difficulty pool. So you don't need to roll anything. They are simply rolling against a static target,
Gotcha.
which
Guys
is your ability.
impassive.
All right.
3 failures and 3 advantages.
Yeah.
So you cancel them out.
I see.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You are totally unreadable, but something helpful happens.
Yeah. What sort of things might you like for advantages? Because you cannot tell if this person is dealing straight with you at all, and if other people around the table have ideas, I'm not sure what advantages might be useful to you either.
Maybe we passed through a couple cars to get to the car we're in now, right? Maybe there is a new book about famous detectives in the modern age, and he's in the book.
A glossy detective magazine.
Yes, Detective Daily or Monthly.
Yeah. Love Detective Monthly.
Yeah, Detective Monthly.
Can I pitch another advantage if it's not too confrontational? Might Thorne, despite being unable to notice anything about Inspector Greystone in this moment, be able to observe a tell or a habit that may over time allow them to build a pattern?
Love that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So if you continue to scrutinize Greystone, the next time you just add on another blue die.
Okay. Bueno. And I think that feels like the advantages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. So you're able to gather some materials to help you understand how the library train mechanically functions, so that if you were to, say, get into a conversation with an engineer, you would have the ability to talk with more confidence. This, however, does not yield any clues about Caitlin's current whereabouts.
Does it, though? Can we check to see how recently these books were checked out?
You absolutely can. You head over to talk with a librarian. Oh, yes. This one was... it's been several weeks since this has been checked out, and this one here looks like it was checked out 2 days ago and just returned yesterday. So someone made quick work of it, it would seem.
Like an engineer who wanted to read it quick.
Engineers are notoriously fast readers.
I've got this platinum library card. You may recognize the name Vertere.
Oh my, we don't see many of those.
Yeah, I'm kind of a friend of the family, and
I kicked Thorne under the table.
I was just wondering if maybe you could tell me the name of the person who checked out that book last.
Oh, interesting. It looks as though it was checked out by someone who is not a resident of Foxglove, and so they went into one of the reading cars and kept it there and then returned it to us.
They were on the reading car for 2 days?
That seems excessive, doesn't it? I don't know, man.
I was like, is that a clue?
No, that sounds exactly like Caitlin. That sounds exactly like what she would do.
Wow.
There were Caitlin would fixate on some subject matters, and there was absolutely no pulling her away from it until she had learned what she wanted to learn. She was like a machine. She was a mental marvel.
Yeah, and you all know that there are some nice, cozy recliners on the train.
Snacks.
People have been known to take a little doze.
Oh, I've done that. I will, under the books that Thorne is checking out, slide the glossy Train Detective magazine. Jeffrey, can you describe what pose your character's doing on the front if they're on the front of a detective magazine?
On the cover?
If he's on the cover, yeah.
If he's on the cover, then
it might be an old one, I don't know, or if it's new.
Okay, yeah. So the Train 19 case was about 30 years ago. So think of this as like 20 years ago. And you see he's in a similar garb, and it's just like the brim of his hat is covering his face, and he's walking away with his hands in his pockets, looking downtrodden as can be.
A very like crime noir, like
Yes.
thwarted noble detective in a dark world kind of.
Yeah. It's and it says, "Greystone be gone."
Oh, okay. I'm very discreet about putting that in the checkout pile then.
I shuffle it to the top. No.
But it is very clearly a very sad photo.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, there is a library train station, correct?
I think there's eight. There's 8. No, I know. There's 8 library train stations.
I just learned today that the library train never stops.
Right.
I thought it stops all
24/7.
over town.
No, I think that was in the beginning. It's a perpetually running train.
Please explain to me. This is the kind of local expertise I need.
Yeah.
Why is it that we ran to chase down the children's car if there are stations?
Oh, you know what it is? It's slip cars. So there used to be a thing on trains where instead of the entire train stopping, they would just drop off the back car or 3.
Incredible!
It's called slip cars, and they would try to time it right so that they would stop at the station.
Oh.
This is a real this is a real
Yeah,
thing.
this is
Train
cool.
doesn't stop, but the cars do.
Truly, an engineering marvel.
This is exactly the kind of local expertise I needed.
Well, I guess so. If Caitlin has, in fact, then come to the train, gotten the information that she needed, is there any... What were her hobbies? Are there local haunts, a favorite type of food, a place that she could be spending time laying low in a new place?
Well, all right, Caitlin was always very fond of the things that one might expect of someone who is as mentally active as she and as creative as she. She was very, very strongly into board games. She played the cello in the local orchestra, the community symphony string quartet. She had done that for a very long time. Beautiful, beautiful music Caitlin made. She could make a piece of wood sing. She was very much into ceramics. She loved travel. I think everyone says they love travel these days. As you know, I have been single for a while, and so.
Will you please? I'm so sorry.
So I know how much everyone loves travel.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, and table talk, this could be a reach, but there is the classical music board game cafe.
Yeah, the Holy Blowers.
What?
Is that what it's called?
What?
No, maybe not. I guess that's.
I'm just trying to figure out what the pun is.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know. It was
Wait,
over here
let's
going,
work- let's
Holy
workshop
Blowers
the
is
name.
funny. So that's,
It is funny.
I mean, if it was a horn thing.
that's what it's like a musical board game shop, right? The Holy Blowers.
It's like a cafe.
Holy roll. It's like a step from Holy Rollers.
Yeah, that's where I started.
Oh, okay.
Or it's called Play On.
Play On. That's the one I was thinking of. The one over in it's.
Oh, in Left Town.
Yeah.
No. This one's the one in Haglin Hill. Maybe she could be there?
They have musical jam bands tonight, I think, actually, maybe.
Oh, that's right. They play Monopoly and the Musicians Underscore with Mozart's, or is it Mozart's Requiem? Yeah.
Yeah. Because
How do you know
because
about
every
these
time
cool
Monopoly
places?
is played, it's a tragedy.
It's long and tragic.
Sorry, I cut you off.
Oh. I think that Aubrey just to herself marvels that her friends have cool hobbies and know about places in town.
We love her.
Yeah, so you gotta head over to Play On.
Yeah.
Play on.
And so our Sonorith sleuths find themselves on the trail of a new mystery. Why did Caitlin disappear? What happened to the money? And what board games will inspire songs? Find out next time on RPG Major. Hey y'all, Helix here, just popping in to say that I'm so excited to share the music in the rest of this arc with you because I think it is some of the best we have recorded so far. Now, don't worry, we bring the heat with the story and the comedy too, but I wanted to talk with you about music specifically because we're going to start something new. In our Discord, we're going to do a weekly song drawing. Discord members can submit ideas for song titles or concepts, and those could be things that are in worlds or just funny ideas you'd like to hear a song about. And we'll pick one of them a week, and filtering out any that are terrible or hateful or anything like that. And the next time we get together, we'll record those songs and start releasing them as a weekly part of the show. And we record on odd schedules, so I can't promise exactly when they'll start coming out. Now, once we get our Patreon up and rolling, it's probably something we're going to move into the paid zone. So if you want to get involved for free, come on over to the Discord. It's a lovely little community. People are chatting about the show, they're excited about the story, and in something that truly blows me away and genuinely moved me to tears, we've had people start to submit art and animatics that they've made of the show. What's up, Abby? Anyway, come join the Discord. It's a great time to get in there, and it's a place to interact with other people who like this oddball little show. Inspector Greystone was played by our special guest, Seattle improviser Jeffrey Kranz. Find his comedic shenanigans on Instagram at Jeffrey_the_red. Mara Vertere is played by Lauren Drake. If you're listening to these as we release them, look for her in a production of Snowed In at Arts West this holiday season. You can also find her performing with musical improv team We Have Some Notes or on socials at La La Drake. Aubrey Stump is played by Camilla Franklin. You can find her performing as part of musical improv team Fancy Cafeteria and on Instagram at Camillastrator. Camilla also creates all the art and visual design for the show. Thorne is played by AJ Krumley. You can find them performing in Seattle at Comedy Sports and with Crooked Street Theatrics and Productions. They're on Instagram at Major Fraser. All music for this arc of RPG Major was created live in the room by Noah Samuels. You can find him on Instagram at Samuels_Noah, and I'm Helix. Find me performing with Jet City Improv and musical improv team We Have Some Notes. Connect with me and the cast of the show on social media at RPG Major or on our Discord. We'll see you next time. Record has been hit.
Shoot!
Was that a shoop?
Yeah.
Record.
Ice, baby. Dun 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 dun. Ice, baby.
Record has been hit.
Couldn't think of a single R&B song to start with.
Do you want me to?
Just one more time, yeah.
Okay. Record has been hit.
Wild, Wild West. On into the Wild, Wild West. We're going straight.
In a couple months, I want there to be like a 2-minute long montage of just you doing that.